If a child has a defiant nature, oppositional or whatever, a third of the time it's sort of like normal. When it's two-thirds of the time, it's abnormal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Am I thinking?
Yes.
Parents have to sit down, whoever's watching the kid, have the same approach. That's consistency. If a kid does something, he has to understand the consequences. There's nothing wrong. You do this, taken away, you don't get that. You set it up and you be consistent with that. Don't promise something you can't live up to, or vice versa. Is that the right approach initially?
I think it's an excellent approach. Consistency, hanging in there, not underreacting or overreacting, being a calm head. I always tell parents, don't even begin to discipline until you've had a chance yourself to calm down, have a timeout, discuss it with your child later, and then come up with a consequence where you're both having a discussion, as opposed to off the top of your head, go in your room.
Yeah, but we have something unique today. We have divorce. And these kids can lead to a divorce.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
Okay. So if the custodial mother has the kid 80% of the time and does completely opposite with the father who gets a kid on weekends and a few days here and there, but his way is maybe what we talked about, a behavior modification technique, it's tough to live up to. We can get an end that which the behavior approach will not work if it's only 2%, 3%, or 10%. It has to be all the time. It has to be consistency. Is that correct?
Yes, the parents, when you have especially a difficult child, have to be on the same page and not undermine each other. And unfortunately, the way the whole system of divorce is contentious in the courts, etc., these parents have often had such a legal battle that, of course, it extends, and plus they've had prior marital problems, that, of course, they continue it in the arena of raising their children, and they don't agree to disagree, they don't try to get on the same page, and they undermine each other. And one of the problems that I see very common in my practice is that a lot of times the father doesn't even get them on the model often would be the child goes to the father one night a week and every other weekend. Well, a lot of times the father winds up just taking them every other weekend. Well, every other weekend the kid's going to the amusement park, having fun, there's no demands.
No time to do even discipline.
Exactly. And the kid may have been horrendous that week at home or in school, and yet they're going. And then, of course, when they come home and the mother now tries to reestablish some structure and discipline, the child rebels tremendously.